Here we go to work. First we're going to loosen this big nut in the center here. We're going to use a 21 millimeter loosen that up. Tell you what, you're not going to learn all of this in a school unless they are using this video. This here important. This is for your horn. Just kind of pull that out of the way. Then we're going to start preparing to remove the steering wheel. This is a part of a steering wheel puller set that we have. Several different types depending on the thread. National coarse, national fine. You guys that are machinists, you definitely understand that. And this is a puller here that we use. I'm going to back it out a ways. Well, actually, let's do it that way. And you want to make sure that you're not going to be pulling against, or that there's no danger of a wire being caught or crimped. You know, little accidents, things that cause you problems, or things that you want to cover up that you did. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So you make sure everything is out of the way, bottom line, before you start to pull on anything. You make sure that the area is clear. Now we're going to bring this up against here. Now if there's not enough thread for me to pull, then we have a spacer that we'll use underneath the shaft here. Spacer for this looks like this. Going to give me some more room to work. I'm going to slide that up out of the way. Now you see how much I got all kinds of room there now. Okay, things even. We're not pulling all cocked or anything like that. We want to make sure of that. So there's a nice 5/8" deep well wrench. A lot of times you may use it on your spark plug on your lawnmower. You can use that to apply the pressure necessary to. Now as you tighten down, sometimes since these cars have been together so long, you know, help it out there a little bit, tighten a little more. And a little more. And this is a tough one. You just don't want to just start cranking down on it, because that can cause problems. So you want to kind of work it. This seems like a version like it's never been taken off before. This is a 1998. Probably haven't. Yeah, that gave me a little more play right there, see? Now, rather than, because this is just aluminum here, this is cast aluminum. This, and it will, you can strip that sucker real easy. So now that we've got that loose, we'll take our steering wheel puller back out, or back off, I should say. And we'll remove the steering wheel. Now, we'll make sure that all of your electrical cables free and clear. Just like that. Now we can pull this out of there, up and off. There is your clock spring. Like I told you, it's held on by a little retainer, so let's get that retainer off of there. What I like to do is move it around to a point where you can get to it. Hold your clock spring in place. And remember, when you're taking this out, you're not trying to turn it. You don't want to turn it. You want to take it off and put it back exactly like you took it off. Now notice, I'm just kind of doing this here to make sure it's not going to pop up or spring back. So I took that off, the retainer, spring, set it to the side. Now I'm going to pull this clock spring off. It seems to be stuck. So you don't let things mess with you. You know the safeties. And you just help it a little bit. What I want to make sure of is that steering wheel seems to be kind of big. Shaft. I'm telling you why. I'll press it back down. Start over again. When I did that, that's what got her. Maybe she was coming out a little bit cocked. So now, I'm not necessarily putting pressure on the clock spring. I'm bringing this little cable out. See, I'm just going to let it fall where it will. Okay. Now, take a little leaf spring out. Set it aside. We got a retainer here on top of this pressure plate we got to lift out. Then we'll be at turn signals, emergency, flashers, and then after that we should be able to go ahead and pull the ignition out. Okay. So to take that pressure plate off, got another device here. Screws on. Just like this. Screws down, and you put pressure on there, it relieves it off of that little retainer. Now we're going to use a screwdriver. There's various things you can use, but most of you guys got a screwdriver, a little small screwdriver, and some kind of pick or that you can use